Is it possible to have unity despite religious diversity? How? So when I think of the words unity and diversity, I picture them as verbs, as in action verbs, and people frequently associate it with politics. And I'd like to reimagine or recover the term because it is so become so political. And in order to achieve unity in the face of the religious diversity, I am considering what God is thinking about and about how He created people who are all made in the image of God and are all different, and not just in terms of our coats, our skin colors, and our religious beliefs, but also in terms of unique and different gifts, abilities, socioeconomics, and these abilities and abilities that I wanna make sure that when we think of unity, we don't limit it to just race and culture, and that was about considering how we can promote togetherness, how we can support and embrace in the face of religious diversity. And one of the most crucial aspects of our lives is our sense of belonging, and we believe this as we strive for unity in our religion, a unity in our community, and among individuals of many faiths. It's so incredibly energizing to have the oneness that we desire. We also desire unity in our congregation, and despite religious diversity, there were other potentials for division, and for example, there was an African American community, a Hispanic population, and a community that only spoke Spanish. That was only for example, and I understood that the heart of any parish, the heart of every family, it had to be built on oneness. Even in our own country, we require it. Isn't it true that we want to be able to have unity regardless of whether we are conservatives, liberals, Democrats, Republicans, or members of this religion? They have a sense of belonging in their own communities, and Christians must work together. Christians and Muslims can work together, right? And unity among Christians, Muslims, and Jews, as well as those who may have differing perspectives on the divine, such as Buddhists and Hindus. And this overwhelming desire to believe that God created us all and that we are all called to be one with that one Father who is God. Consider that whenever you're at work, you're at home or at school or everywhere, and how you might bring unity and pray. And pray especially for those of other religions so that we might all be parts of God's family. May Jesus constantly loves you and make you happy. So I do believe that our oneness or our unity is not accomplished in spite of our diversity, rather it is strengthened by it, much like a chemical compound that generates a stronger material. And creating and maintaining unity in the face of difference is a delicate task, especially when it comes to religious beliefs. The effects of globalization of Filipino religious practices and beliefs that I observed, well, the Philippines is mostly a Catholic country. As a result, most of our country's customs are based on Catholic and Christian beliefs. Like festas and processions, as well as sacraments like as baptism, like Holy Eucharist and matrimony, and holidays such as Easter and Christmas. It have become firmly ingrained in Filipino culture. In general, Catholicism has been associated with Filipino identity since the 16th century, when the Spaniards introduced it to us. My parents and relatives are all Roman Catholics, and I grew up in a Catholic family. So, following the spread of the COVID-19, governments across our country banned social gatherings in religious places and the practices of all faiths, as well as canceling surrounding observances and festivals. It is according to the effects of globalization on Filipino religious practices and beliefs that I have observed. And during the pandemic, all churches, mosques, synagogues, and temples were closed to the public for physical presence, but it's allowed prayer via live stream. And the COVID-19 pandemic has drastically altered people's religious practices. All Filipino religious traditions have taken a new dimensions as a result of online streaming, social separation, and global lockdown. And because of globalization, our country is still connected even in the midst of a pandemic. Our technology has advanced to the point where it connects us to one another more easily. Through various social media channels, people can readily spread the word of God. And our community's approach to our faith and beliefs has been shaped by globalization. And I know that this effect of globalization is the historical process by which all people in our country are gradually coming to live in a single social unit. It involves religion and religions in a variety of ways, and globalization's necessities, response, and interpreted from a religious and of faiths. On the other hand, it have played a major part in bringing about and defining globalization. And that would be it increases religious heterogeneity, which is one of the implications of this issue for religion. And because of diasporas and transnation, all relationships identify themselves in relation to one another, and they become less entrenched in a specific regions. Like in our country, in our Filipino culture, globalizations also makes it easier for a wide range of institutional religious expressions to flourish, where Filipino as well as the development of religion as a political and cultural resource.